risk for outages is real and it's immediate.
Continues to brace for blackouts. Some cities in the Golden State, including parts of Silicon Valley, were briefly plunged into darkness. Nearly all of California and much of the West dealing with historic heat. Several cities across the region above or near 100 degrees for the rest of the week. But the vast majority of the state kept the lights on, even as energy demand hit an all-time record high overnight. 50 million under heat alerts today.
Bringing water, keep hydrated.
California now facing a double threat. Amid the sweltering heat, a deadly, fast-moving wildfire tore through the city of Hemet.
Pushed California to the brink, with the state facing its highest chance of rolling blackouts this year. Stephanie Sy has the latest.
Another searing day baking California. The state's power grid operator urged residents to conserve energy for an 8th day straight. Residents found shade wherever they could get it.
I think a lot of people using the air conditioner, and using light, fans, everything just to try to keep, cool.
We seem to always just make it through. We have our little tricks to keep cool. Everybody does.
At the Orange County Zoo, zookeepers gave animals blocks of ice to stay cool.
Oh, you get that.
Temperatures surpassed 110 degrees in many parts of the state this week. Sacramento reached a 97-year high at 116. Earlier this month, California's Death Valley set a new record at 127 degrees. It was the planet's hottest recorded September day. Scientists say climate change has fueled these more intense, longer summers.
The risk for outages is real and it's immediate.
Last night, Governor Gavin Newsom urged people to save power and spoke of a brutal month to come.
In fact, this heat wave is on track to be both the hottest and the longest on record for the state and many parts of the West for the month of September.
Indeed, other parts of the West are under the heat dome, including Salt Lake City, Utah, which recorded its hottest September day since the late 19th century this week, and alarmingly low water levels at the Great Salt Lake. Temperatures may not moderate in many places until Friday.
Circumstances. For one, we are seeing more severe heat waves across the entire region, across California and throughout the West, exacerbated by climate change, and that makes it so that electricity demand during these periods of time is really very high. And this is ultimately a question of keeping levels of demand and supply in balance, because if there is an imbalance, you risk wider system breakdown. So that's why sometimes there's been the need for rolling blackouts to keep those levels in balance. Of course, California has been consumed by a severe drought. Hydroelectric power generation has been constrained. During these west-wide heat waves, it becomes harder for California to import power on an emergency basis.
Look at what is happening out west and when they're going to get some relief.
Probably not until the upcoming weekend. I mean, we are going to continue with these record high temperatures. Yesterday, not only did we see several record high daily temperatures, but also record high temperatures for the month of September. And we are going to continue with temperatures like this through the next several days. So we once again have heat advisories, heat warnings extending from California up to Montana, even Denver under a heat advisory today. We also have the chance of some thunderstorms that don't produce rain, but they do produce the thunder and the lightning could trigger some more wildfires as the brush is very dry and we have
everything lined up for a critical rate of spread.
2 were killed as thousands scrambled to escape the flames.
The inferno blew through here so quickly, many of the homes that were destroyed were lost in minutes. Those that made it were protected by fire retardant dropped from the sky or random luck.
From one extreme to another, the Northeast drying out after drenching downpours.
Oh my goodness!
New video from inside a building in Providence showing the terrifying moment a roof caved in after heavy rain.
My heart was pacing for sure, but I'm thankfully okay.
Nearly a foot of rain falling in Rhode Island.
Oh.
Flooding dorm rooms at Brown University.
Clothes and bags and everything, we just piled it all up on the bed.
This morning, dangerous extremes, floods, fires, historic heat, and now the looming threat of blackouts.
Major story on this Labor Day. Severe weather on the move. Flood watches up and down the East Coast. In New England, a nightmare for holiday travelers. Flash floods shutting down part of busy I-95. Blaine Alexander is tracking it all for us.
Tonight, on this Labor Day holiday across the country, severe weather is dealing a withering blow. The heavy rain has soaked states from Alabama to Rhode Island, where in Providence, part of I-95 is completely flooded, leaving holiday travelers at a standstill. The governor is urging everyone to stay off of the roads unless absolutely necessary.
It's moving the car.
It's all part of a massive storm system pushing to the east, blowing through Dallas, where heavy winds destroyed part of this structure still under construction, strong enough to strip the bricks from the side of this building. In southern Indiana, massive flooding swept through homes, killing one person and displacing dozens more.
When it let loose, it let loose. I imagine most of us down the Ohio River somewhere.
And tonight, more than 78 million people remain under flood watch, including parts of North Georgia, where the rain left its mark on the small town of Somerville, leaving cars, homes, and entire streets submerged. Even as the waters begin to recede, they leave behind a trail of closed businesses and a crippled water supply.
You don't know how to fix the holes in our ozone layer. You don't know how to bring the salmon back up a dead stream. You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct. And you can't bring back the forest that went through where there is now a desert.
You have ignored us in the past and you will ignore us again. We have run out of excuses and we are running out of time.
Below Europe's largest glacier lies secrets that could have devastating global consequences.
Oh my God. I have never seen anything like this.
It doesn't have to go down that way. Together, we can save Earth.
The Earth will be here. The Earth's not going anywhere. We want to save the environment or preserve the environment or conserve our resources for us humans. And this, when you state it that way, it's obvious. But what we want everybody to work together. Climate change are so obvious that people will come around. And when it comes to water out west, these are generally very conservative politicians managing a natural resource. And understand, in the United States, the West depends on water. It always has. And people have discussed the problems associated with drawing state boundaries on north and south lines rather than on watersheds. But that aside, we now have to manage this water. And a problem will come when it does rain again out west here. And there'll be, the ground won't have the plants, the ground cover that it would normally have. And so there'll be mudslides, and which is also very costly. Of course, it affects people's quality of life, but also it affects the economy when you can't move goods and services around on roads. And this is all easy, or it's all straightforward. But what do we do about it? What we want to do is prepare for that. And sure enough, it's not exactly happening, but these floods in Texas, Kentucky, just shows you how difficult things get for people when we can't control enormous rainstorms. So we got to get ready for that. That's one disaster that we present.
Some people yearn for the apocalypse. They want to be free of injustice. They want to escape suffering. They want a better world. Apocalypse. It's a Greek word meaning lifting the veil. It's not about war, it's about enlightenment. It's not about death. It's a state of mind and heart that helps us see the truth. Not some far-off day of judgment. It's here. It's now.